Hello YouTube, this is Intuitive Retta. How are you? Okay, so I tried this reading earlier, like I said. Did a 40-minute reading, but everything was kind of cross. I ended up, because they still have him, like showing up the first byline of who's the president of Haiti. They have Michael, who they call Sweet Mickey. And that's the information, which he was, I think he got beat in 2017. That's whose information first comes up when you look at Haiti. So I had to kind of, rearrange. But even with my reading, even though I had this guy information, but I was getting other things. So the guy that got killed was Jovenel. You guys know my freaking pronunciation is crap. Mies, Jovenel Mies, especially my French. So, a little bit before we get into the reading, from my other reading I did this morning, my spirit guides directed me on this like long thing, and that's why it was important for me to talk about the Haitian history or to bring that up. And that's what my other reading kept talking about, and to drive into home, to remember who they are, remember their ancestors. And then also it brought back a queen from back then. And coincidental, the king was King Louis the 15th. And they say that he had a curse because of the Hope Diamond. But no. This was a curse from the Haitian people that went through his bloodline. So they are still angry. The elite are still angry at Haiti for the uprising. Even though France stole, I think they stole at the time, was it 90 million or 90 billion at the time? So I think it was 90 million, because I don't think they had billions back then, but today would attribute to that. So this was thinking of like in the 1800s. So France stole all their wealth. So King Louis, he had a curse on him. They're attributing it to the Hope Diamond because he had the Hope Diamond. Could be part of it, but I think it's the Haitian people. All his children died in childhood except for one. And then I don't believe it was his child that became the next king. It was Charles the 10th. And he had an interesting kind of weird life too. So, and he's the one that actually kind of stole the wealth. So, a lot of what this is going on has a lot to do with it. And so, we're going to see about this. Because when I did do the reading in regards to the presidency and why they killed them, the card that showed up in that deck was the card that had nails in the tongue and in the throat. So it was stopping this man from speaking. Also, I asked about, is America involved? And they were like, was American involved in in his assassination? No, they didn't say. They're saying that America was involved in the allure of the temptation of giving him temptations and offering him temptations. And they did say France was involved. So it's weird also that all these Colombians and special forces and American Haitians, so maybe there's a drug angle, I don't know. But we know what they're doing. I always have my heart to Haiti because Haiti was like the first place where the slaves rebelled. They didn't stay in slavery like, America and even in Africa and stuff. They were like, no. you know, they rebelled and they killed their slave masters. And they've been punished since. And with the hurricanes, I mean, they're taken. And it also told me that they're like really focusing. And there's a lot of magic going on there. And the day that he was killed was very magical. And that they're focused on the legacy, meaning that the Haitian legacy, meaning the children, the women, the children, the legacy. And as we know, they are trafficking through there or organ harvesting through there. You remember Clinton's staffers got caught taking children, where Clinton had to take a private plane to get her people out of prison because they were caught with all these children. And stuff like that. So there's a lot of things going on. And then I believe Clinton gave her brother like gold rights to the mines there and stuff. So there's a lot of things going on. And I have a lot of love for the Haitian people. So back to this guy, Jovenel Moise or Maz. His birth cards are the High Priestess. So he's very ritualistic. So he was very spiritual, justice and judgment. He had his own moral character. So the day that he died, or the day he was killed, was the magician energy. So that's telling me ritualistic. And this was his magician year. So this was a very ritualistic year. But this was a year that anything could have been possible. So I want to get into why he died. And also the other reading told me that those people that they arrested is just like, all those people that they arrested are basically pawns. So let's see. Energy around Jovenel. Let's see. Whoops. All these are upside down. Okay. Is patience. What was he waiting for? It looks like a seed was planted for to grow. They were trying to shut him up. So I wanted to use this deck. Hold on. I was trying to find my Haitian deck. I'm so mad. The Ghetto Tarot, which is made with the Haitian people, and I can't find it at all. I looked and looked and I can't find it at all. So I'm like, okay. So the energy around was planting seeds and waiting for them to grow. So was that in regards to him? So let's see about this man's killing. Something was highlighted. Something was highlighted, brought to attention, or his killing was to be brought to attention. It's the reason why it's in the news. It's done on purpose. We'll cross the bear with that. It is to focus on him so they can hold something. So that they can hold or keep something. So maybe this is their way of holding out what information comes and goes, or even information about this guy. Underneath that, stress. So around him was a lot of stress. It was holding something, information, money, whatever. But also, because remember I said the other reading I did earlier this morning, they did it, they were putting nails, the card showed putting nails in his tongue for him to speak. So highlighting something. Was he about to turn on them? Because it looks like, and I didn't know about this one because I was kind of focused on the other president. The other president wasn't for the people. So we'll see if this one was. Because America was backing him, and what was going on with his wife? Ooh, a wife and his empress. Did he have two? It looks like in the last year, something was going on with maybe a wife and another type of woman. One would be like a wife, a mother, and then there's another woman. So I don't know. It could be a mother his mother, but it looks like two main women were important in the last year. Let's see. Knight of Swords. Also, around it was to isolate him from giving out information and to kind of diminish his power so he couldn't give out information and to isolate him. They said I don't know, I see that there's a lot of, there's a King of Wands. There's someone who facilitated it, but also he was stressed out. There was something that was stressing him out. But did he die right away? Did he die right away? Because I think that I think he didn't die right away. They may have said that they went in there and killed him and he died, but I don't know if he like died right away. Oh no, the wife. Okay, this is the wife. I didn't even see the picture. It's a woman. So I know the wife she was shot. There's some something in regards to hiding something in regards to her injury or her illness from it. Her injury. Someone's facilitating. I don't know if she's lived or she's died or anything about her, but they're trying to cover. They only want to give out a little bit of information in regards to her right now. So I want to see, was this president, was he good or was he? And so the guy who was getting was the other president, Sweet Mickey. He was the one that America was given a lot of money to. This one, I know a lot of things were going on in regards to. They were saying that they didn't think he was a legit president for the last year. I have no idea. I didn't look in that much of the history. I was more interested about that curse, and I found it interesting that they even talk about the curse, but they're blaming it on the Hope Diamond, and it wasn't. It was about the Haitian people. Haitian people put a curse on that bloodline. Okay. How was this man as a president? Okay, so how was he as a president? There was a lot of things he wanted to do was put to the end. He couldn't do it. They isolated him. They isolated him. And if he had his choice, things would have been different. Like if he had his choice, if he was, because this was his year, and also this year was for him, he thought he could facilitate and make like all his hopes and dreams come true, especially this year. This was his magician year. I see the energy. He might have thought he had more power than what he did. But it's also showing me the death card to keep him isolated. And this Page of Wands. So remember before there was another woman with the wife? That there was another woman? Is this the same one? Is this one? There was a wife and another one. Yes. That woman, whoever the other one is, he was having an affair with another woman. It must have been a honey trap or something, but she was part of orchestrating it for her own things. That was part of his temptation. There was a woman that was orchestrating his death. And that was also to keep him very isolated. I seen that they wanted to put stuff in his tongue. Was he for the people? Because I know there were uprisings going on. Was he for the people? Actually, what what's funny is, yeah, he wanted to do things for the people. But he didn't have real plans. Like, it was not thought out. Like, he had started plans of how to give back to the people, how to provide for the people. He was talking to other people about doing it, but nah, it didn't come to fruition. I don't know how long he's been. It's like, I don't think he had enough skill or set or how to go through the mines to try to the landmines. Because it also told me a magician was involved too. So maybe he was patient, waiting for seeds to grow. Maybe he was biding his time so that he could make change. Why was the country so at odds and stuff in regards and saying, what did the people think of this man? What did they think? There was mixed reviews. He got people's emotions up and down. I think they may have thought, was he like someone who spent money or provided a lot of money for like events and stuff and like parties and stuff? He was someone that the people were emotional about. Like, not like, maybe not in a good, like some liked him, some didn't, but if they liked him, they liked him. If they didn't, they didn't. And it was kind of like, you know, a turbulent kind of relationship. But I feel like, yeah, he was thinking about, but he wasn't, he was like someone that was still young in their mind. His plans they were all very juvenile. And did he spend money on partying? Why did he have to die? Why? Whoops. Why did he have to die? Why did he have to die? For a partnership to be successful. That's why he had to die. There was a partnership, a coming together of two parties or two countries or two people, and in order for it to be victorious, he had to die. Was drugs like the cartel or anything involved? Was drugs involved? I'm thinking that was the main, that was like a main thing. And I think that woman had a lot, whatever woman, it wasn't his wife, there's another woman, was kind of the driving force. And that's what kind of kept him isolated. And that's what kind of got him stuck. And him and his wife, I believe, were on odds about this. Him and his wife were on odds. And that's what kind of stuck his presidency, was kind of stuck. Is because, yes, there was drugs involved. The cartels in maybe Colombia or whatever, drugs were involved too. Let's see. What's going to happen now that he's gone? What's going to happen with that country? There's a man coming through. Disorganized. I told you guys, be careful of the new man that's coming in. There's two men, because the new man who's coming in is going to be directed by this man. So the new man that's coming in, or that they're going to put out to the front line for the people's judgment, isn't going to be about the people. He's going to force in an agenda And he's going to be controlled. Also, he's going to be like quick to anger, he's going to seem passionate and all this, but that's not necessarily good. He doesn't have a plan. He's taking everything from the man. What does the elite have in store for Haiti? The elite, the deep state. What do they have in store? And why is Haiti targeted? What do they have in store? It's like, it's the same as they're showing, is that the wealth of the country and the families. I told you, they're after the legacies, the children. You have to think, I know people don't think that, like, when I start talking esoterically and stuff, people are like, because a lot of people don't do that or do that, but you have to think of